order. Chisholm City Council meeting, February 11th, 2026, 5:30 p.m. Susan, would you please take roll call?
Counselor Varga?
Present.
Counselor Fountain?
Here.
Counselor Baki?
Here.
Counselor Halaba?
Present.
Counselor Halverson?
Present.
And Mayor Lance?
Here. All right, Council, I'd look for a motion to adopt the agenda. We do have an addition here, informational, some information from Devin on the HRA debt forgiveness. So that would be number 2 under Devin. With that addition, I'd look for a motion and support.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Second.
Thank you, April. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Pledge allegiance if you would.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ryan? Jim, is there any public participation? Nope. Okay. We'll start with council reports. Councilor Varda, good evening.
Good evening. I just have a couple things to mention. I attended my first police commission meeting on the 3rd. We had five or six people show up, talk about ICE. And on the 4th, I had a fire department meeting. We had anniversaries, Billy Temple with 13 years and Justin Olson with 10 years. They had 15 calls for January. And there are 2 resignations or retirements, both Billy Temple and Justin Olson. And we had a meeting with the school, or I was at the meeting with the school in Balkan. We talked about the brewery, about annexation of some land, and the ribbon cutting for the brewery will be on the 30th of May. That's it.
Thank you. Was it 29th or the 30th?
I have the 30th here for the ribbon cutting. The 29th is the soft opening. I think so.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
That's of May, at least. I didn't mention the month.
Yeah.
Good evening, Councilor Fountain.
Good evening.
Happy birthday, Councilor Varda.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. I don't have a formal report, Mr. Mayor, but I'd like to say happy birthday and happy African American Heritage Month. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Baki, good evening.
Good evening. Yes, happy birthday, Councilor Varda. And the only thing I'm going to mention is if you're watching this live or if you're sitting in this room or up here, Blue Streak Bingo is at 7 o'clock tonight. Right after this, at Jim's. Come support the Blue Streaks.
Thank you, Travis. Councilor Holliva, good evening.
Good evening. I attended the EDA meeting last Wednesday, and I attended the council working session on the 4th as well.
Thank you. Councilor Halverson, good evening.
Good evening. I attended our working session last week, our working session Monday with the school board in Balkan Township regarding Von Steffensrud School, and one Redhead committee meeting.
Thank you. I have no formal report, so we'll move on. Ambulance Director Tiffany, good evening.
Good evening, no formal report.
Police Chief Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Just a quick update from the police department. As Councilor Varda said, we had our police commission meeting last week. It was good to see some public participation at that meeting. We had various citizens there to just inform us about their concerns with the current climate in the state and in the country with ICE operations. So I just wanted to take a quick opportunity to acknowledge that, and then also, of course, you know, let citizens of our community know that about what our role is with ICE, right? So this is a new thing for law enforcement in Minnesota and nationwide. You know, our role is purely public safety. So we do not have the ability to enforce federal immigration laws. We will not be enforcing federal immigration laws. Our role is to enforce Minnesota statute and then, of course, local ordinances. Of course, if community members don't feel safe or if they have questions, I definitely want them to call 911. We will respond as more of a mediation or mediator to the issue at hand. Maybe to calm things a little bit. I think that's our role as well, just being local law enforcement. We have relationships with our community members. They know who we are. They know how we dress. So I think that can kind of calm tensions if these situations arise. Obviously, our other role, and we're obligated to do this, is to enforce laws, right? So if people start getting disruptive or breaking the law, then of course we are obligated to address those issues as well. Obviously, we're all about peaceful protesting and voicing your opinions and First Amendment rights. But again, we also have the obligation to keep things safe. And we will do that. So yeah, so as far as that goes, I hope that informs people a little bit more on the process. And again, this is all a moving thing, right? There were some concerns about what happens if we see, ICE breaking the law. Well, of course, we have an obligation to enforce the law. So every situation is different, but we will definitely, if action and arrests are warranted, we will obviously do that. So yeah, so other than that, moving on, later on in the packet here, we did get a resignation from our department. Lieutenant Aaron Musburger has put his resignation letter in. He's moving on to a different department down in southern Minnesota for all of the right reasons. We hate to lose him. He was a great asset to our department, and we wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. So with that, those watching and interested, we are hiring. We are going to continue to hire. We are down 3 people right now, and that is the common theme with law enforcement throughout the state and the nation, unfortunately. And everybody is competing with each other to get people, and people are signing up for sign-on bonuses and more money, and it's just been really difficult for agencies throughout the nation to hire people. So there's not enough applicant pool, and unfortunately the incentives aren't as good as people would hope. So yeah, so more to come on that, but if anybody has any questions, I'd happy to respond. Otherwise, that's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. I really appreciate you bringing up the information regarding, and if ICE does come into town, quick question. So
absolutely.
are they required, right? So if someone's coming to town and they should be here enforcing warrants, right? Not just randomly walking through like they've been noted to have been doing.
So ICE, obviously we have no bearing on what ICE can or cannot do in a city, right? As a police department. They have their own rules, procedures, and their federal authority to enforce immigration laws. How they do that is kind of up to them, right? Reasonable suspicion and probable cause, yes, they are doing targeted enforcement. That is a word that's been thrown out there, targeted enforcement, meaning they probably know or have a list of people that they're looking for. But they do have the ability to go into a town and enforce the federal laws. So how they do that, I don't have any bearing on that, and it's unfortunate. I wish I had an answer, but I don't. I will say that obviously they are in rural Minnesota. The communication part within the agencies hasn't been the greatest, but that's getting better. Mr. Holman, and I'm sure people watch the news, he's reached out to several agencies within Minnesota, mostly in the metro area, but now it's starting to work its way outward to the rural areas as well, to get that line of communication, just so we know what's going on. Hopefully that answered your question.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Very good, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I forgot one part of my report. Is that okay? I forgot to mention that I met with the ambulance director today for 7.5 hours, so that was also on my list. I just forgot to read it.
Did you buy her lunch?
Nobody bought us lunch.
We'll put a pin in that.
Building official Mandy, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a short report tonight. The Planning Commission held their reorganizational meeting on Monday, February 2nd. At that meeting, they called for a public hearing to hear the petition for the conditional use permit for the Moonlight Brewing Company. And that's gonna be on Monday, March 2nd at 4 p.m. here in the council chamber. It was published today in the Mesabi Daily Tribune, and legal notices were sent out to all adjoining property owners, so if there's any questions.
Thank you, Mandy. Public Works Supervisor Larry, good evening. Oh, City Engineer, sorry, Jim, didn't mean to skip right over you. Travis said he was in a hurry tonight. so I just-
I told him.
City Engineer, Jim, good evening.
I have no report.
Well, why would you after I just told you? I'm sorry, Jim. I apologize. I'll buy you dinner. Public Works, Larry.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Just a few things. We've been dealing with just a run of winter water breaks. We had a great winter, except if you want to train our 2 young employees that we have in the water and sewer department. And then all of a sudden, we got 5 and 5 days. So we've been struggling with that. We worked all with last weekend, and we've been working till dark. We got a handle on it, and the public has been amazing. Everyone's in a fairly good mood this year. You know, there's not huge snow banks, and you can't park anywhere and can't get down the streets and stuff. So everyone's been great, and really, really appreciate that, especially when times get crazy like they are. We continue to work on projects. It hasn't snowed. There's no snow in the forecast. If you've seen the forecast, it's absolutely beautiful. It's going to be 40 degrees and sunny for days, and it's going to be nice. We're going to be out there wiping off the streets. It could be a little messy. We do have some limited staff. We still have a couple of customers without water. We got temporary water on for them. But we're going to be working on water breaks, and we're going to be working in alleys, and we're going to be working in some intersections and stuff. So it's going to be sloppy and busy, but we'll get there. We got the whole rest of the week. And Mother Nature will help us too. I mean, it's going to be 45 degrees and sunny on Saturday. I mean, half the snowbanks will be gone. Yeah. Come Monday. Yeah. Come Monday, Jim will be going back to work. You know, we'll be digging. So we'll be wiping off streets. Oh, and we're prepping for polar bear days too, as those needs come along. So, I mean, what a beautiful. I think there's the fishing contest this weekend.
Saturday, yeah.
It's going to be amazing. Like banner year, right? So have fun, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Parks Trails Rec Director, Colin, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Just a couple quick things. We have our Youth Center Valentine's Day party tomorrow after school from 4 to 6 p.m. So feel free to bring your kids on down. We start around 4, but you can come a little bit earlier if you want. And then the other thing with the warm temps that everyone's bragging about, our warming shack and skating rink may have to be closed this weekend just due to those high temps. Just skating on that temperature ice, it can cause a lot of permanent damage for the rest of the season. So we may have to put out an announcement to close that this weekend. So that's it.
I got one thing, Colin.
Yeah.
On our website, I got asked about the hours of the skating rink down on the south side there.
Mhm.
It says every other weekend, but there's no dates, so we don't know which.
I posted them on the Parks, Trails, and Rec Facebook page, and then I did put out a calendar on the door down at the warming shack,
Oh,
like
okay.
with the February dates and everything.
Okay.
It's every other weekend right now with only one employee, because we have to keep it under a certain amount of shifts. So yeah, right now it's every other weekend that it's open.
Is there any way we can get on the website somehow?
I can probably work something to get it on there. I know I thought I put a little graphic on there of January's hours, and I can try to fit in February and just replace that with January to make it easier for everyone. But yeah, the best place to look would be Facebook first and foremost, and then yeah, if you just go down to the rink and you go to the door, you should see those hours.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Susan, if you want to mention to Stephanie, maybe we can get that up.
Sure. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Can kids skate all the time if they want though?
Yeah, you can skate whenever. That's just the
Okay.
warming shack hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and then like this weekend, for example, though, we're gonna put cones up and put a sign that says, "Please no skating on the rink." I mean, obviously, there's not gonna be anyone down there.
Yeah.
But we highly recommend not to skate on it because you could ruin it for everyone else. Yeah, so. And then, yeah, we have skates for rental down there for free. We picked up some new sizes. So that's the only thing, that's the only disadvantage of just not having the warming shack open is you can't rent skates, you can't sit inside and warm up, you know, et cetera.
Thank you, Colin.
Yep.
City Attorney, Brian, good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. I just passed out some material for later in the meeting. I apologize that it's arriving so late. Other than that, no formal report.
Clerk Treasurer, Devin?
No formal report.
Okay, Council, next we have the consent agenda. Look for motion support. Consists of the list of bills, communications, minutes of previous city council meeting minutes, payroll and overtime, resignations, and retirements.
Motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. No unfinished business. We'll move on to new business. Ambulance Director Tiffany. Good evening.
Good evening. I only have one thing to request. Resolution number 0226-18, request to apply for a grant to Cleveland Cliff Foundation. Ideally, we would be able to request, we're hoping to get a Lucas, which is the automated CPR device. In a time of critical call, that is like having another staff member there. So that is a very important piece of equipment.
I just want to say I'm really proud of you for seeking these grants. This is like the second grant that I know for sure, so.
I will pass that on to my staff that have been doing the grant seeking. I have a small group of people that are on my grant committee, which is unofficial, and they are the ones that are finding these, so thank you.
That's great, yes.
Okay, Council, look for a motion and support for resolution 0226-18.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Second.
Thank you, April. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, it's only a minor section. This is informational on here.
Oh, I clicked the wrong box.
Okay, is that right for me?
Yeah, it's fine. Still.
Okay. All right, we'll get that changed, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Marty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Chief, Jim, welcome back.
Mr. Mayor and Council, only thing that I have on the agenda tonight is just informational. Gambling Commission approved an LG 228 gambling application for the United Way of Northeastern Minnesota for a raffle at on May 13th at Valentini Supper Club. So that's all I have.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Wait, Mr. Mayor, can I ask the chief a question? Yeah. So I just have a question on the policies that you and your police commission.
Mhm.
Where can one get a copy of your policies, and where are they located?
Sure. So all of our policies for the police department are on the city website under our police department section. Any policy that we have on the books is actually online and posted online, so you can read it, review it, get a copy of it. So all of our policies for the Minnesota Post Board are also on there, so that includes all of our mandatory policies that each law enforcement agency in the state has to have, along with our local department policies, and then we actually just put our city policies on there as well. So,
Is there applications on there too? If
There
somebody
is.
would like to
yes,
apply?
yes, there is.
Okay.
So all the information can be found on our city website.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
April.
Chief.
Thank you, Jim. Mr. Johnson. Good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. If you'll turn to page 20, please. Before you, on page 21, we have a resolution accepting the feasibility report and calling for the public hearing on our 6th Street, 4th Avenue Northeast, or the Heritage Manor area infrastructure replacement project. We were notified about mid-January that we did receive funding for clean water, drinking water, and lead service line on this project. And the third item that I've got on the agenda tonight is dealing with last year's project. And as soon as we get that cleared up, then Devin and I will be working on making, submitting all the necessary documents, which include these resolutions, in order to get that funding. But what you have before you is the first step in our public hearing process or in our assessment project, and that's to accept this feasibility study, which is attached, and then setting the public hearing dates, which we have proposed to be at 5 o'clock a month from tonight, in advance of your first council meeting. But we, as usual, will also are proposing a informational meeting on the Monday before, on March 4th, at the Senior Citizen Center at 5 o'clock. With that, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have, but would recommend the adoption of resolution number 0226-19, please.
Okay, council, do we have any questions for Mr. Johnson? If not, yeah.
Is this 1.8 million, is that, I'm just forgetting, did we put that in our budget this year, this project?
The project is in our 5-year capital improvement program, and the estimates, I think, are high right now. What you do see in terms of when it gets to the assessment portion is I've gone through and have the proposed assessments already ready for the public hearing and so forth. And on this particular project, we are also working with the county to improve the intersections, both right there at 6th Street, at the northwest corner of Heritage Manor, as well as kind of on the southeast corner of the project, where 5th Street comes down from the Lakeview addition, as well as 4th Avenue. So the county's got a component in this project as well.
Okay.
Jim, I know we talked about sidewalks being put in here, so I'm looking at the map on page 31. Could you tell me which ones are the sidewalks?
I think
The red line, or?
I don't think probably the
Or
sidewalks are,
these?
no, that's the water main
Oh.
replacement there. We are talking, let's go to that page.
Okay.
Which page are you on
31.
already? Thank you. Currently, there's really no sidewalk in that area. Actually, as you look at 31, as you go just to the east of 3rd Avenue, in front of Heritage Manor, we are proposing to put in a sidewalk from that driveway entrance or their main entrance, going to east to their east property line. And part of that, we know there's discussion with that neighborhood group about development of that park area. So we've taken it that far so they can then do what they want to tie into that system or route it wherever they want to. The other sidewalk that's being proposed, there is sidewalk coming down on the north side of 5th Street from the long Lakeview addition, that comes right down to that intersection south of the Valentini property. And in our discussions with the county, we are working with them and hoping to propose them to continue that on to the west that ties into that trail crossing on Lake Street, kind of at the southeast corner, I guess, of Heritage Manor. There's a designated sidewalk and crossing there.
Yep.
And we're hoping to continue that
down.
5th Street northeast sidewalk continuing to the west from 4th Avenue over to that point. That's the only thing that's being proposed right now.
There's no sidewalk here. There's a sidewalk that goes up here to Adams.
Right here.
Does this look right? Because I can't understand your direction.
So, right, so there's nothing yet, and it'll come with the future plans, but just, coming across 5th and then coming down across, there's, where the park is down here.
Okay.
Yeah, so-
Yep. And then what was this one?
Yep, right
Proposal?
across the top of the north line of the property.
Would it
there.
go all the way across?
To the east side, to the end of their property.
Yep, I'll put the mark right there.
I need,
Excuse me,
I
just
need
a
more.
minute.
There's
No.
I think it only goes to the end of the property.
There's a walkway over here.
I like visuals.
It's like a really tiny,
Yeah, exactly.
right there.
Thanks, Jim.
Just a little bit right there from that main entrance or driveway over to their east property line. 5th Street. You're welcome.
Oh, nice. Oh, goes further. That's great.
Make a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Jim. Sorry, Jed, excuse me. Thank you, Jed.
Second.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor. And then if you'll turn to page 39, which we have, actually on page 40 then is a resolution, much in the same nature, but this one is for the First Avenue Southwest Sidewalk Replacement Project, for which we received a petition back in August, which we brought to the council in September, which we actually brought the petition forward at that point to authorize me to move ahead with the preparation of this feasibility study, which you have attached then starting on page 41. What we are proposing is that in the latter half of March, then, we would hold the public informational meeting on Tuesday, March 17th at 5 o'clock at the Senior Citizen Center. And then before your council meeting, on your second meeting in March on the 25th at 5 o'clock here in the City Hall, we would conduct the formal public hearing if you choose to move forward. I know Marty has had some questions on this project, and this is just a process in that assessment process and the Chapter 429 process. And the council can, if it's not in your budget, if you don't have the funds, and I've actually, when I talked with Ms. Baker, who circulated the petition and brought it forward to us, that it, was one of those things that we may not be able to afford, but she walked, got the petition signed, brought it forward, so we had an obligation. This was before we were talking about the county roads getting turned back, but it's purely informational at this point, and again, whether it's tonight that you want to, if you choose to stop the project, or if it would be following the public hearing, you could stop it. Even once you receive bids on it, you can stop it at any point in this process. Also, because that petition was less than the required 35%, when it goes through to accept plans and specs and authorize the bidding of the project, I believe that's a step, there's a step in there where it takes a supermajority of the council to move it along. One of the things that I failed to provide in the feasibility report, I've estimated the assessments, and if all the properties that are shown to be included within that area of benefit were to be assessed, the assessments would amount to $10,435.37, and that of that total cost that I've got estimated $154,560 represents about 6 3/4% of the total cost of the project. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have, and if it is your wish, I would recommend the adoption of Resolution 026-20.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I would recommend that we hold off on this, and there's 3 reasons. One, this is now a county road. We turned it over to the county. So if there's any improvements on the road, it's the county's responsibility now, not the city's. I'm not against the project, but it should be the county's, or an agreement with the county that they'll reimburse us for the project. Secondly, I don't remember seeing it in our 2026 budget. And I don't remember seeing it in the capital improvement plan. I may be old and forgetful, but pretty sure it wasn't in our budget.
Right.
No, you're absolutely right, Marty, it's not. It was because of petition, which is how we actually ended up with the 3rd Street Northwest project about 5 years ago, because we had a serious maintenance problem there. It wasn't in our 5-year capital improvement program, but because of the petition, it was brought forward. And the 5-year capital improvement program is a dynamic material. The ranking or the priorities change.
It's not in our 2026 budget, and
That is correct.
isn't it unauthorized expenditure? We should not be doing it because we did budget for it. We're not spending other money unbudgeted. I don't know why we should be doing it here.
Right.
So, but the biggest thing now is it's just been turned over to the county. So if the county's willing to do the project, that's great. Or if they're willing to reimburse us to do the project, that's great too. But without being in our budget, I won't support it. I don't think council should support it.
Mr. Mayor, too, you mind? I agree with Marty, I'm not gonna repeat everything he said, but I just wanna thank the citizens for using the petition process. It's good that people are getting engaged, let the council know what needs to be done in our city. I was part of the 4th Street by the Catholic Church there, did a petition and stuff, so it worked out really well. A lot of people were happy because of that, but with the whole process, and it took a while, but it took a couple of years, but it was not in the budget at first, but once it got in the budget, we were able to take care of it, so.
So Marty, Jed, would you guys recommend tabling it until we can contact the county and see yea or nay before we vote?
I think
Because if we vote no, then it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
right?
that'd be the prudent thing to do, is
Yep.
talk to the county, since, you know, this is a new thing now with the county being in town here.
Right.
If I might,
Yeah, if they're willing to do it, that's great, then we can move ahead.
If I might offer an option or an alternative, would it be acceptable just to move forward with the informational meeting and a public hearing, just to gauge what the interest is, such that we know is there widespread support for doing all or a portion of this project? And following the public hearing, we can shut it down at that point, but it'd help me a little bit to know what that level of interest is by those adjacent and benefiting properties.
That might also help when you go to talk to the county as far as what the
Exactly.
project
Yep.
is. So,
Yeah, I think that's okay.
That's a good idea, yeah.
so would I be looking for a motion to table this as a whole, or a motion to move forward with the public hearing?
I would, this would be the next step, so if you would, I would recommend that you approve the resolution. I'll defer to Brian, but that is what authorizes us to hold the informational hearing and really the public hearing. And then following that public hearing, but we'll pass along what we're looking for in terms of, unless the county is willing to do some funding of this project, that it isn't something that's gonna probably move forward with the city council.
And that's correct, Mayor. If the resolution is approved, that will authorize the public hearing. And there are still several stop points where the council can end the project. It would just be if the council wants to hear the public input, we could move it forward to that hearing. Or in the alternative, it could be tabled just to talk to the county as well. Both options are viable.
Because basically, the next step following the public hearing would be a resolution to authorize the preparation of plans and specifications, and that's the point at which you shut it down. We're not spending any more money on it at this point.
Or time?
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
All right, council, with that said, I'd look for a motion and support for resolution 0226-20, so we can move forward with the public hearing.
Make a motion?
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion? All
So
the-
I don't have an issue with this. My only concern would be, does it make more sense to see if the county would even entertain it before you have this meeting? But if you do have this meeting, which is fine, make sure that I would make sure you make it clear to them that
Absolutely.
the only way this is happening is if the county
It's paying for it.
is paying for
We
it.
don't have it
Like,
budgeted.
cause I don't
It's
want
not
people
budgeted,
to
right?
get under the assumption that we're gonna do this when we're not. Or,
Quite frankly, the other alternative would be for them, the people themselves, to pay 100% of the cost.
Right.
If it was new construction, per our assessment policy, they would be paying 100% of the cost. But because it's replacement, our assessment policy, they're only paying a percentage of it, is quite frankly, so.
And then
And we will contact the county, yes, to make them aware of that issue. Thank you.
If that was what happened, then we would pay for the project in full, and then we would assess them over a span of 10 years at 3% for the full cost.
Yeah, 5 or 10 years, whatever you decide would be appropriate. Yes, that's another alternative that is available to us.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. And then if you'll turn to page 48 and 49, as I indicated before, we are notified, and this is last year's project on Fifth Street Southwest, between 2nd and 4th Avenue, just south of the school. that we were notified that we were funded on the drinking water and the lead service line portions of those projects. So Deb and I are diligently trying to prepare all the financial statements and all the other forms that need to be filled out and sent in order that we can then proceed with seeking reimbursement for those costs incurred. So this is just one of the documents. This one is for the drinking water revolving fund resolution before you, 226-21. As soon as we get through with this one, as soon as I can get it ready, we'll bring another one to you for the lead service line portion of it. And following that, we'll be coming forward with similar documents for Heritage Matter for clean water, drinking water, and lead service lines. So with that, Mayor, I would recommend your approval of Resolution 0226-21.
Thank you, Jim. And council, I'd look for a motion and support. If there's any questions?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Jim, do you know what the percentage would be for the loan? Like how much the interest rate would be?
We don't find that out. They give us an estimate. Typically, they've been about 1% to 1.5%.
Yeah, I thought it was like 2 to 3 somewhere in there.
Yeah, okay, it's rise, because I remember Lakeview Edition was like 1.1%.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's, when we get to the final closeout documents, they'll give us an estimated one, but they really don't determine that final rate until it gets down to the final closeout of the project.
And it's amortized over 20 years.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion and support?
Motion.
Thank you, April.
I'll second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you,
Motion
Mayor.
carries.
Members.
Thank you, Jim.
Jim.
Larry. Evening, Larry.
Thanks for having me back. First on the agenda is the cooperative maintenance agreement with St. Louis County. It was just mentioned a little bit ago that the county has shaken jurisdiction over some of our streets through the town. And we met staff and met with county officials, and we discussed that Devin reached out to, like, say, City of Evelyn and Vale Township, stuff like that. And the fee, just to make sure that the fee that they were offering was reasonable and within the normal, and it seemed to be. So, and and I apologize that the map, super helpful, did not make it in there. So, but it's basically 6th Street, all the way, say, over on the east side of town, by near the Public Safety Building, all the way to Dollar General. And then 1st Avenue, all the way from the industrial park, all the way to the water plant. And then, so that's mainly the new sections, and then we care for a little bit of joint that we work with them on. So at the offer was that was $3,000 per mile, and that's 2.74 miles, and at least in this initial contract, or if you agree, is $8,220 for the year. So
That's great.
yeah, it's basically for plowing, sweeping. Like if there's a storm sewer catch basin broken, they pay for that. But if it's a storm sewer manhole, then we pay for that. So it's an agreement. And I think it's their obligation, we're all taxpayers and stuff, and, the county works for us as, we do work for the citizens. So I think it's just an obligation of theirs to kind of help out, and that's what they're doing, so. I don't see it as they take ownership, I see jurisdiction. So if we get our population Chisholm back up to that 4,900 or arguably, or the 5,000, we take that jurisdiction back, so.
And they do fillings too.
Yeah, and they do the signage, you seen the signage at the 1st Avenue intersection was the first thing they helped us with, even before the agreement. Was at Valentini's there in the 30 West intersection, they did the new stop signs. So it's super, they got a, sign crew, just City Chisholm, them sign crew, so that's helpful. They have paint, they do all the painting and stuff, and they do the overlay and stuff like that. So mill and overlay someday, and the crack sealing, all that, so.
We have a sign crew. We have a sewer crew, water crew.
Yeah,
They're all super employees.
That's right, absolutely. You just don't have the fancy tools they have. Yeah. So if you agree, we'd be looking for a council action to move that forward, so Stephanie can sign it, and we move forward, so.
All right. Thank you,
I have
Larry.
a question. They're gonna plow the streets?
No, we plow.
Oh,
Yeah, that's part of the
that's-
agreement, yeah. We plow and sweep,
Okay.
basically, that's how I'm kinda, You know, what's the city's, you know, our meat in the game? It's that we're gonna plow and sweep and that, and, you know, they'll take care of the signs and some catch basins, maybe sidewalks, you know, we haven't gotten that far into it yet, so.
I misheard you.
Yeah, no problem. All good.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Jim.
One
Any-
question, Mr.
Yep.
Mayor. Do we have to do like a walkthrough with the county on these streets by chance?
No, they do, they have something, they did their own walkthrough.
They did? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've, let's say, valued it, or they did an assessment.
Okay.
You know, they really looked at, they're gonna replace like the street signs and some stop signs that don't meet their code and, you know, stuff like that, so they'll bring it up to their standard.
So when it comes to the stoplights downtown, down by Valentini's there, is that gonna be,
So those are considered city, actually, so their standard is, so here's one for you. Their standard is 30 miles an hour or less, which it is, of course. They don't require stop ahead signs. Well, just up to the Third Avenue one is MnDOT, they do. So that's why you see the stop ahead signs for the MnDOT intersection of 73 by Library, but you don't for Valentini's. So they brought that intersection up to their standard with those new stop signs with flags.
okay.
So that is actually a city responsibility to take those old traffic signals down, in which we intend to. I did reach out to MnDOT and I asked them to share their contractor with us when they do come to town, and we may be able to piggyback off of them, less mobilization, they're a crew that does that type of thing. So we hope to take ours on the exact same time, exact same day. So
Perfect.
they come down very quick, you know, they really do. So if you remember when those big huge cylinder loads came through town, they 2 bolts and they swung the whole thing off to the side and it went through and they swung back up and the power was still on and everything, so, yeah.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
I just want to re-up, the stop signs are ugly.
They're a standard, yeah, they're a standard.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then, it's that time again, although it doesn't feel like it, maybe a little bit with the sun and the warmth, but it's seasonal labor time. So, looking for your support again. Yeah, it worked out very well last year, and I asked for your support to hire one of the Parks, Trails, and Rec coordinator. That helps with all the kids and the projects, you know, so, you know, the curbs and making sure everything goes good and the kids aren't out in the street, kids, young adults. That's really worked out well. You know, when I'm gone, when there's other things we want to say, this person helps with all the summer help and little projects, so. This one bounces between all the trails over at Redhead and sometimes with Colin at Rec when they're short with all the little kids. And then also, of course, in the parks and the street with all the projects, so.
Thank you, Larry. Look for motion support to post and hire for seasonal parks, trails, and rec coordinator.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion?
I just have one question. Is 20 enough?
Oh, and that's the next posting.
This is one.
This is just for one.
This is one, this is
One
the
on one.
coordinator one that helps.
59, page
This is-
59.
Oh, I put that away already.
You're ahead of me.
Sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next.
All right, and then the 20 seasonal laborers, up to 20 seasonal laborers. Some years we've had 13, some years we've had 22. You know, and we've had the state program, which Susan helps with greatly, which everyone has supported, of course. It's my hearing that those programs are suffering now with the whatever budgeting and staffing and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if that'll happen this year. It doesn't sound very good. You know, and those have been super valuable programs to me and the city and all of you, of course. But we'd be looking for your support to hire up to 20 summer help, and that's divided between water, sewer, you know, the cemetery, street parks, campground, Redhead. So we kind of move everyone where we need to move. So
Motion.
Thank you, Jim.
Support.
Thank you, Jed.
I have a question.
yeah,
Is 20 a decent number?
20 is a decent number. More than that is almost unmanageable.
Okay.
Yeah, you can imagine. I have 14 full-time employees, that is, and then you order another 20. Now you're at 34. That's a significant amount. So, yeah.
Okay.
It is. Thank you, though.
right.
Appreciate it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thanh you. Parents,
you, Larry.
help those kids with those applications. We count on it.
Thanks, Larry.
Okay, Parks, Trails, Rec Director Colin.
Hello again. If you turn to page 65, I'm asking council to please see the attached job description for the CSRP specialist position. The only change from last year is the wage. We increased it from $12 to a minimum $13.50, and that from last year to $13.50 for the minimum to a high of $16.50, to be consistent with other seasonal hires, such as the city garage. Yeah.
Thank you. Council, look for a motion and support to approve the seasonal CSRP specialist job description.
Motion.
Thank you, Jed.
I'll second, but I think there's another update. It says 16 years of age by June 2024. So
Thank you, Marty. Good
change
catch.
the year, or maybe just take the year off so that every year it always says by
By
June
June.
By June 10th.
1st or whatever.
Yeah.
that-
Yeah,
that they're
sure,
ready.
that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, my only question is one or two? Do you have two of these or just?
This is just the job description for this specific position. It would be up to 13.
Oh, okay, all right.
This is like I refer to them as counselors too, but yeah.
Got it,
Yep.
got it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, now if you turn to page 68. So I ask you all to please see the attached job posting for the CSRP specialist position. I plan to hire up to 13 individuals for this specific position.
Council, look for motion and support to post and hire CSRP specialists.
Motion. Oh, Marty got it.
Thank you, Marty.
Second.
Thank you, Jim. Any further discussion?
I just have one question.
Sure.
Last year, do you envision any people coming back for this position?
I hope so. I thought we had a pretty good staff last year. I think we just need to tighten a few things up when it comes to training before the year starts.
Okay.
Obviously, there was turnover last year, and I wasn't here at the beginning of the year for the
Yeah.
training portion. So I think the staff last year was pretty solid, and I'd like to have a few of them back for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think with the wage increase too, it also helps us get more
Yeah.
competitive applicants too. So, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and then lastly, if you would turn to page 70. Kind of in conjunction with Larry here, please see the attached job posting and job description for a seasonal campground and trails coordinator. I am requesting to post and hire one individual, and there have been no changes in the job description from last year.
Council, look for a motion.
Yeah, it says to call Bridget.
Does it say that?
Yep. I was gonna say too.
Someone call her.
Wait, where? I don't have that on mine.
Page 71.
71.
Oh. That's wrong, yeah. You know, I still
Still
find
call her.
things like that
You
every
won't
now
get her
and
at
then.
that number.
Yeah, yeah. I actually do get quite a few calls still that think that Bridget is answering the phone, and it's been a process to explain that it's not.
Yeah.
Motion to approve with the changes to call in.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Jim.
Mr. Mayor. So I see both positions are gonna be partially assigned to Red Hat. Is there gonna be overlap or just one or the other or both or as needed?
Yeah, my understanding from what Larry explained to me was that like almost 40 to 50% of the day is spent at the campground, and then the afternoon portion of the day is spent out at Red Head doing maintenance and things of that sort. So that was my understanding of it when I read the job description and talks with Larry.
And then Larry's coordinator has the flexibility to go out there too if need be. All right, thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Awesome, thanks.
Colin. All right, clerk treasurer, Devin.
Page 75 is a Precious Paws contract. We went over the details of it at our working session, and we had a draft of it, and Sent it over to Joe, he got to review it. Him and Attorney Lindsay, worked through, I think, number 6.
Paragraph 6.
And, I don't know if you wanna elaborate on that. That's the new contract that Attorney Lindsay sent out, but it's, pretty close to the regular one, or the original.
Mayor, if I could?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mayor. So, there were a couple of changes, and I apologize that I brought some changes to the council, last minute. I did provide the packet that was handed out tonight contains both what we call a clean and a red line version. The red line version you'll see matches very closely with what's in the packet, except for that paragraph 6. So there was some conversation about paragraph 6, and if you recall from our special meeting, the purpose of that paragraph 6 was to help the city to recoup some costs that it spends in housing animals where the owner of the animal maybe is a little bit negligent or not paying as close of attention. The idea being that the city's got to pay for these services in the contract, and some of that burden may appropriately fall to a pet owner if they're not being careful enough with their pet. In having some more conversation with representatives from Precious Paws, we've kind of made a little bit of change in direction in this regard, and I've received a little bit of input from the chief. What we're going to do is the main change is in that paragraph 6. Instead of the old system, we're simply going to require by paragraph 6 that Precious Paws provide us the names of pet owners who come down and recover their animals from Precious Paws. And that will provide information for the PD, for our local police department, to issue dog at large or pet at large citations if they believe those circumstances are appropriate. There may be cases where there's nothing the pet owner could have done, but where we start seeing repeat offenders or where we start seeing some egregious circumstances where it's clear that the pet owner should have been more careful. We'll have an ordinance in place that will allow us to issue administrative fine citations, so the city would recover those fees directly, and we can apply them against overages if we experience some extra charges by going over our allotted number of animals in a year. So that's the primary change, but I'd be happy to try and answer questions about any of the other changes. The thrust of the other changes was just to include some documentation portions that are required by statute, the information that we're required to have contractors maintain for us if we're exercising animal control authority.
Okay. And so at our working session, obviously, folks remember Mr. Keys came and discussed the cost and where we're at now and how the goal is to get up closer towards 200, and they've been slowly raising that price, so I'm fine with that. And then paragraph 6 obviously was concerned that the chief brought forward, so as long as him and Brian are okay with it, I'm comfortable.
Make a motion.
Thank you, April.
I'll second.
Thank you, Judd. Any further discussion?
Brian, I guess, can you just quickly clarify paragraph 8? The city agrees to hold harmless Precious Paws for any costs associated with any former owner or person claiming ownership obtained through this agreement.
So, Mayor, if I may, the primary instance where this may come into effect is if there's some claim that potentially our police officers or an animal control officer wrongly obtained an animal and turned it over to Precious Paws. That's the only circumstance where I could see that there would be any claim of liability on the part of the city or on the part of Precious Paws even. And I don't think we've got much risk. Our officers are well trained and do a nice job with this animal control piece.
Okay. Any further questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, thank you for that, Devin. Moving on, HRA debt forgiveness.
Yeah, so, I was asked to get a little bit more information on this HRA debt forgiveness that we talked about at the working session. So I went back and put together this timeline of each of the grants or funding mechanisms that went into this receivable from the HRA. It all dates back to 1995, and I did talk to Luciani and also the clerk administrator around this time.
Mr. Colleton.
Yes, Jerry. Jerry called. And so basically, they were trying to get this development with Lincoln Square up and going to make affordable housing. And they were always, I think Jerry said $500,000 short. So this was the way, the funding mechanism that the city chose to get this development up and going. There were four basic mechanisms. One was tax increment financing, where the city took out $220,000 in bonds, and they set up a TIF district. So the idea with those bonds is those would be paid off over time with the additional tax revenue that was being charged with, or to that Lincoln Square. The other mechanism, or another mechanism, was $200,000 out of the city's, I'm assuming general fund, but $200,000 from the city. $85,000 of that was just paid for syndication fees, and the other $115,000 was a direct loan to Lincoln Square. The third mechanism was a $300,000 CDBG grant to the city, which the city then turned around and loaned to Lincoln Square. Then the fourth mechanism was a $150,000 affordable housing grant, which was awarded to the city and then loaned over. We have grants like this that flow through the city now. They don't necessarily have a loan tied to it. Or which circumstance, or some circumstances, we would have a forgivable loan had the establishment operated within certain terms of the contract. Then fast forward to 2012, the HRA purchased the Lincoln Square building. So now, instead of the private entity owing the city, the HRA owed the city for that amount that we loaned. In 2017, the HRA issued additional bonds, and with those bonds, they paid off their 2012 acquisition that acquired that property, and also they built some townhomes with that funding. With these 2012 and 2017 agreements, the debt that the receivable that the city held that the HRA was supposed to pay back was given a subordinate position to the new debt. So the bonds that they issued to acquire the HRA and to build the townhomes, that debt is first, and the subordination of the debt owed to the city is not due until after that is fully matured. So after all that's said and done is 2047 that we'd be able to collect on any of that money. I did talk to, like I mentioned during the working session, I talked to the HRA auditor, our auditor. I think the intent, and then Luciani, and then Jerry, the intent behind it was always to be forgiven. And I don't know if it was just the time back in the 90s where this is how it was handled with like flow through money. Because now we see that sometimes with the IRRB, and it's just a flow through and it's really no strings attached. This is just informational. I was asked to get more information so you guys can think on it, and then we can kind of go from here, and if it's decided to forgive it, we can draw up a resolution to bring to the next meeting. The HRA audit, I think they wanted it done by the end of March, so an answer by the middle of March is what they were requesting. So that's really all I have, but if anybody has any questions on the recap here that I made.
You're awesome. Just want to say that, and thank you. I just want something to be clarified. So say if we did wait till 2047, right? How much money could we get back?
So the total receivable is $748,000. the amount of money that really I would consider being, that the city actually put into it is, 200,000, and 85,000 of that was paid for syndication fees just to get the deal done, because obviously having that building supports the city and having the population and the utilities being used. So then 115,000 of that 200 that was loaned over there is really what I would consider coming out of the city's general fund. Otherwise, everything else was funded by grants through CDBG, a loan through affordable housing, and then the TIF bonds that the city took out were essentially paid from the increase in tax capacity from that project.
So, 220? 220,000?
No, 200.
200.
Just 200 flat? That's, I just need a number.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of a difficult situation because the HRA and the city work so closely together. And I think that's kind of why the intent was for it to be forgiven, because making affordable housing in that property really helps the city. And right now, the HRA is paying us payments in lieu of taxes. So we're getting a larger chunk of revenue from that property being affordable housing, still to this day.
Do you know how much that is?
I went back, I don't off the top of my head, but I can find out. I'll get
I'm
it
just
back to you.
thinking, you know, if we looked at that over how many years, 46 years?
Oh, yeah,
How much of that tax base are we getting to back to the city?
right.
Is that gonna equal over 200,000, or is it gonna be less than 200,000? I guess that's kind of like where I'm,
Right.
if
And
we
I
can be
guess
in the
just-
middle somewhere, you know?
Do I have?
How much stuff?
So that debt was paid off in 2016. So if we went back from basically 2017 to current and then went all the way to 2047, I don't want to say an amount because I gotta look it up for sure.
Good job.
But
This
it's,
is amazing. You did an excellent work.
yeah, I appreciate that. But anyways, I guess I'll leave it at that unless anybody has any other questions, and give it some thought and we can move forward from there.
Thanks.
Any questions?
Thanks, Devin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Devin. Hey, council, moving on. Martin Motors Car Show, holding their annual car show on June 27th. We request a street closure, same as last year, from 8 in the morning till 10 in the morning. Sorry, to host 800 to 1,000 people. Band in the park, crafts, arts, food vendors, cars, and Jim's Beer Cart. All donations will go to Precious Paws and the Chisholm Food Shelf. Didn't get a chance to make it last year, but I know when I got back to town, it seemed like it was a pretty packed event. Do they have a time on here? I'm not, it must be, I thought they had it before.
There's a big form they filled out, I didn't include it, it's always difficult to read, but I can quickly go look at it.
Would you please? Just so we can set a date, or a time, got the date.
Any chance of making it to the citywide festival?
I think there's a good chance. I think we better if Jim's down there with a beer cart. Jim, while we're waiting for Susan, last year they just closed off Central, right?
If I remember correctly, Mr. Mayor, yes. I think the event went really well. There was some logistical things with, I think there was a bounce house that arrived quite early. So we had to block the street off earlier because he had to set it up and blow it up. And I think it was like an hour or two before the event was actually supposed to start. So, so I think just some logistical things we can figure out on that part of it. But yeah, I believe it was a good event. So. Yeah, I don't remember what time it was though. Or what
We
time
have
it
just
started.
Central to First Avenue, or
Correct.
First Street.
Correct.
I was there and he texted me because I know the guy said, can you plug it in, blow it up for us? So I did. Had to call Larry down there to turn the power back on, but it was good.
Did they need the box down there, that portable unit that I know you set up before for like Juneteenth, so they had, did they have that?
This is what we put in on the calendars, each, so all the employees do, so.
Alright, council, so, looks like, 7 AM to, 3 PM. So I think maybe you guys go 7 to 4, leave an extra time for, clean up and tear down. June 27th, with a citywide festival for that area.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Just further discussion, if you would just make sure that they touch base with Jim and Larry to work through the, planning for it. Okay, thank you, guys. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have the Polar Bear Days request from the chamber. And they say they're hoping to bring back the snow volleyball tournament as part of Polar Bear Days and requesting approval and support for use of the parking lot similar to past years. Historically, they've blocked off the parking lot entrances the evening before the event, Wednesday, 2/19, and brought in snow to build the courts. This year, they would plan to set up 2 volleyball nets positioned between the 2 light poles in the parking lot for gameplay. They would spray paint court lines and would need approximately 25 feet of snow coverage on either side. Did they talk to you, Larry, about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there gonna be 25 feet of snow available?
Yeah.
Since everybody's so happy about 45 degrees?
Yeah. There's a big pile of it over there, right? And the closures, so, tournament will begin 9 AM and run until approximately 4 PM. Requesting a couple of garbage cans near the courts. At 10 AM, so it looks like, so obviously, looks like we're closing the night before. Until what, 4 PM, 5 PM?
It's gonna take PD that long to get the other cars out of there, so yes, Mayor.
Yeah? Okay.
But only Tom and Jerry's parking lot's the only thing being, they're not closing any roads here.
No, just parking lot. It's a public parking lot, so they wanna just get an okay to park, it's a city parking lot, so.
Okay.
They want permission to close it early, and the PD is gonna have some work to do in there, so.
Sure.
So we want the 18th closing?
So the 19th, that would be Wednesday, the night before, so 4 PM, Wednesday, 19th.
That's 19th is a Thursday.
Oh,
Are we in February?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, February 19th, so.
So this is not on a weekend, this is during the week, evidently?
It's on Saturday. I didn't look at that.
21st?
Looks like they got caught in a copy paste also. They have Wednesday written down.
The day is wrong, yeah.
On
They're from 9 to 4.
on a
but
Saturday.
It's gotta be on a weekend, I would think.
Different
Yeah.
ground. Yeah. It's gotta be the 21st.
Yeah, it's definitely the 21st.
Yeah.
Maybe she put it in there a couple days early for practice. This is the first time that she's ever hosted the event.
Right.
They hadn't done it in about 10 years, so.
Okay.
She's probably allowing for, a couple extra days, like I said, the fees and after work, and they're getting.
So we're gonna close it down Wednesday and just
Yeah,
leave
so
it
we
closed
can
all the way
work,
through?
yeah.
Okay.
So we can bring in the snow and help them set up.
Okay.
21st.
All right, so I'd look for a motion to approve the closure of the parking lot from Wednesday, 2/18, sorry. Oh, I have that just like last time. All right, February 18th, Wednesday, 4 PM until,
They want the parking lot closed?
yep, behind Tom and Jerry's, right?
I think you should do Wednesday the 18th at 10 o'clock because that's chamber drawing at Tom and Jerry's. And that parking lot is absolutely gonna be packed.
Yeah.
And truly, we wouldn't even need that many days to prep. It's really a day. I think she just allowed, like I said, if it's snowing, the deal's off, we're plowing, right? So then I think she left a little bit of, we will certainly minimize the close times, watching the weather and everything else,
Yeah.
so. And like I said, we're not gonna close at 10 o'clock. If there's an event at 10 o'clock and we wait till noon, it's really not a big deal. So we will certainly work together to minimize the downtime.
So, council, it looks like it's a little vague, so I would just make a motion that we approve the, this is the chamber to work with Larry to close that parking lot at what they deem fit. Declare a citywide festival for Saturday, the 21st, for the area.
Make a motion on that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, April.
I'll second it
Thank
for
you.
questions.
Yeah, thank you, Jim.
So, we don't want to expand it to close off Second Avenue in case there's problems there?
I don't really think there would be, I'll be honest, Tom and Jerry's used to host this back every year. It used to be a huge, and they never closed any streets.
Oh, okay.
It's really contained. I mean, you're not gonna have balls flying in the.
That's what I was worried about,
No.
if the balls get overhit and
No,
the cars
they-
coming down
they
Second
stop.
Avenue.
Once they hit the snow,
And they've been drinking all day, they might not care too much about the car coming down Second Avenue.
I don't think it's necessary, not that we couldn't do it, but I mean.
I just don't want them to get hurt, that's all.
Right. Leave some orange cones just in case. There we go.
Yeah. So you amend your motion to allow the closure of Second if deemed necessary?
I amend that motion, or took for closure of the
Support.
Thank you, April. Thank you, Jim. Look at us. So
And also to
accommodating.
work with,
And it's-
police.
Yep.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, council, next up, Iron Range Barn Dances. So this is, something that popped out, obviously, in different areas are looking for, donations and, and requests for, donations, kind of new sponsors. Not sure how you feel about this. I know we do have money in our fund. I know this isn't for students, so are we allowed to use this money? Like our money from our gambling?
It would have to be, Mayor, for a charitable purpose, which can include things like youth activities. It can also include nonprofit organizations or, there's a number of different items.
It looks like
Oh,
they're 501c3.
correct. Yep, if it's a 501c3, it would qualify as a charitable donation.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm a no for this. It's not being held in Chisholm.
That's my thought too.
I'm a no.
Okay, can I just say this? That was my first thought. And my second thought was, we do wanna put out Redhead Trail, we do wanna put out our campground, we do wanna represent, and so $100 sponsorship, we can be in the marketing and their printed flyers and be promoted as a sponsor. So my recommendation would be $100 donation.
I can get more than that, and then we can use it, instead of having the city of Chisholm, it would be, we have the Redhead and Chisholm Iron Trail Campground.
Campground.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I'd like to request a roll call vote.
What was the amount?
$100.
Hundreds? Okay.
Susan, would you please take a roll call vote?
Counselor Varda,
No.
Counselor Fountain,
Yes.
Counselor Baki,
No.
Counselor Hulava,
Yes.
Counselor Halverson,
Yes.
Mayor Lance.
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries. Next up, Chisholm Skating Club. Looking for a donation request. I believe we did this last year as well. Again, nice community event hosted in town. So I would be supportive of whatever we want to donate on that.
I'll make a motion to donate $250 like we did last year.
Thank you, Travis.
Well, second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion?
One thing, Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
Would it be possible when we do these donations that we have the extra fund balance in front of us moving
Yes.
forward?
Yeah.
That would,
I
that
was gonna
would,
bring it, but I didn't.
thank you.
Did we finish the vote? Did we
No.
say all
No,
in
we
favor?
didn't.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, it does
Yes.
say that we'll be listed in their program as well, so that gives us a little sponsorship as well.
Please.
And I have 2 tickets to the show, it's gonna be like.
Excellent.
What's your name?
Just clarification if I may, for both of these, we want redhead advertised?
Not for the skating show.
No.
So, but
So that'll be city.
I would think.
Yeah, City of Chisholm.
No.
Okay.
We just have one.
Yeah, City of Chisholm, host of the Redhead Trail and
Yeah,
Barrington
have that-
Campground.
Yeah, all 3,
Sneak them in there.
as one big image.
Next up, council, we have 2 applications for the
And the PD.
appointment to a Public Utilities Commission. You know, my recommendation, we have one here, the former city public utilities, you know, definitely comes in, there's one spot open, right? Oh, there are 2, okay. All right, well, council, I'll look for a motion to approve William Krebs to the Public Utilities Commission.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Second.
Thank you, April. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And I would look for a motion to appoint Scott Obastar to the Public Utilities Commission.
Make the motion.
Well, support.
Marty, Jim, thank you. All those, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. Last up, Councilor Hollova.
Who, the Chisholm Lions Club, along with Lake Street Market, would like to ask the city council for the permission to declare a citywide festival and shut down Lake Street between First and Second Avenue from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the following dates: June 16th, July 21st, August 18th, and an optional September 15th. This event will include vendors of all types, along with food and games for kids. Last year, we were able to raise $250 for Precious Paws, $250 for the Chisholm Food Shelf. If you have any questions, please reach out. We already have 12-plus people signed up, if it's approved.
Excellent. No?
Motion.
Thank you, Jim. Now, is this did you have a citywide festival for these last year?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. The more the merrier.
Absolutely. That was Jim and Travis. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone.
Citywide festivals, can we make sure whoever's coordinating will coordinate with the PD and with Public Works supervisor?
I can address that, April, if you
Yes.
like. So we have a form that everybody that has an event fills out. It's a couple pages and it gives phone numbers, specifics of the event. And that goes on our shared calendar and it's checked off by police, ambulance, fire, and the city.
So they have to
They have to
review it.
Thank you, everyone, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Just want to be sure.
Okay,
That's written.
all right. I would look for a motion to recess into closed session in compliance with statute 13D.03 subdivision 1, ASME labor contract discussions.
Motion.
Thank you, Jim. Support. Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good night.